The name Galaxy S6 Edge Plus is sort of a mouthful, and that's fitting, because the S6 Edge Plus is also a handful. We're working with a slightly slimmer and sleeker body than what we saw with the S6 Edge, and that's kind of an achievement in and of itself, but the bigger deal here is the enormous 5.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED screen up front. It does make the device quite a bit longer, even though it's not going to have a huge impact on how it feels in your pocket, but it might be a little too big for some people to use on a regular basis. If you can deal with that screen size, we're left with a really gorgeous screen, and we don't really expect anything less from Samsung at this point, especially when we're working with a flagship tier device like the S6 Edge Plus. Now, it does share the same internals as the Galaxy Note 5, which is really the big interesting phone being announced today, but we'll get to that at another point. We are looking at a octa-core Exynos processor paired with 4GB of RAM, and in our limited time playing with the thing, it's super snappy. You're not going to have any trouble putting this thing through its daily paces. Throw in a 16 megapixel camera that, by the way, will now broadcast live to YouTube whenever you want it to, and you've basically got the hardware situation in a nutshell. Thankfully, we're starting to see the software catch up to the hardware here. Now, I'm not talking about TouchWiz, which has been lighter than it has been in recent years and generally much more pleasant to deal with running on top of Android 5.1.1. What's more important here is how Samsung is changing how we interact with the dual edge display. So if you recall, we had People Edge with the original S6 Edge. It's a side tray where you can access your contacts very quickly and easily. Now you can do that with apps too, so your frequently used apps can be stored in what's called an App Edge, which you can drag out from the left or right side. You can change that now. What's even bigger than that is that Samsung is finally allowing developers to create unique ticker experiences with an Edge API, and it's already got a couple partners on board, including CNN, Twitter, and Yahoo. They're working on ticker experiences right now, so hopefully we'll find a reason to actually use the Edge on the S6 Edge Plus. Now, I haven't played with the S6 Edge that much, but I am left with two distinct impressions. One, it's the less impressive of the two devices we've seen today, and two, it's sort of a device Samsung just made because they could. It shares a hardware platform with the Galaxy Note 5, and I'm willing to bet Samsung crafted that platform with the Note 5 in mind and decided, oh, we've got a real hit in the S6 Edge, let's just take that formula and supersize it. That in no way means the S6 Edge is a bad phone, and in fact, based off of my time with it, I would argue the opposite. Anyway, we'll get a better sense of how all of this plays out when the devices actually launch, and you can expect that to happen here in the US on August 21st.